Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Chasing the Dollar, brought to you with the compliments of TAB Sportsbet. My name is Ron Arnold and I fill in for the next 6 weeks while Ben Damon is over in the London Olympics, and as I welcome in Timmy Newbold, our regular panellist. Tim, some blokes get all the good gigs.
Yeah, he's doing it really tough over there, Benny. London for 6 weeks, the Olympics. We're just a couple of battlers trying to back a winner at Wentworth Park, and it does look a strong competitive meeting on Saturday night. I'm really looking forward to getting into it in a moment.
And of course, with all the big sport, let's swing to Matt Jenkins and see what's happening at TAB Sportsbet.
Thanks, guys. Well, all eyes will be on the Meadows on Saturday night. Looking forward to the semi-finals of the Maturity Classic. Barsha wasn't it impressive? 8 from 8 now in the fastest heat time of the night. It is now the one to beat. Overall, I've got a market on that, and including also this week, the Chase This promotion, it continues. That's the first 4 for each and every race on Saturday night at the Meadows. We're guaranteeing the pool to be $10,000. Well worth having a crack at that one. New South Wales customers, we're not forgetting about you. The first race at Wenny Park on Friday night, there's $10,000 in the pool for that one. And on Saturday night, it's the Big Six, $11,000 already in the pool for that one at Wenny Park. So it should be a very big night.
Saturday night at Wentworth Park, the quaddie legs kick off with race number 5. It's a field of 7. Strong field, Tim.
I like number 4, Mythical Eagle. He was really good to us a couple of weeks ago when he scored at good odds. He is rising a bit in grade on Saturday night, but I think he's got enough burn to take the lead in the back straight. There's 2 greyhounds on the inside, Bonita Banana and Your Little Girl Where's the Risk. They're both very, very pacey, but I think Mythical Eagle has got more mid-race pace to take the lead, and I think if he does take control, I think he'll be too good at the end. I really like him, number 4, Mythical Eagle. Number 2, Where's the Risk? Your little bitch, Ronnie, she's going great guns at the moment, but she's just hitting a bit of a flat spot mid-race, but she's sticking on more than what she used to, and she's going really well. She's got a great chance. You got to throw number 3, Brighton Bullet in. This greyhound's got a big motor, but lacks early pace and will be powering home at the end.
The second leg of the quaddie Saturday night is the Blue Paws final, Tim.
There's one greyhound that will hold the key to this, and it is number 5, Kilgandy's Violet, a desperate wide runner, a good beginner. So I can imagine this greyhound holding the outside division up, and that's where all the inside greyhounds really do come into it. I like number 2, Sleek Fancy for Neville Brown. Debuted at Wentworth Park, led and just run down over the latter stages. You could say it was a little disappointing, was a short price favourite, but I think it'll be improved by the run. It'll be a bit fitter with a 500 metre run at Wentworth Park under his belt. I think he'll be winning. Number 2, Sleek Fancy. The danger, number 1, Chubb's a Weapon, the Kennel Mate, ideally drawn on the inside. Another which led and got very tired over the latter stages, scoring in 30 and 45. I think he will be improved by the run at Wentworth Park. He'll be another one which will be fitter. I think he comes right into contention. And throw in number 4, Don't Knocker, who is well drawn inside the wide-running Kilgandy's Violet.
Third leg of the quaddie on Saturday night at Wentworth Park, and Tim, some of these runners have been in good form.
Yeah, I like Avondale Queen. She's dropping from free-for-all company to a 4th grade company. She's a highly talented greyhound. She was desperately unlucky when beaten by Kyle's McGill last week. She ran up the back of that greyhound coming to the turn, lost a couple of lengths. She ended up winding up in 3rd position. She should have won, and she should be unbeaten at Wentworth Park. And I actually think she hasn't really handled the track in all of her 3 runs, and that is saying something considering she should be unbeaten. I think she's a very, very talented greyhound. I think she'll be taking care of this field. Number 2, Spring Karoma, comes right into contention, well drawn on the inside, lacks early pace but strong at the end. It's got a chance for the multiples, and throw in number 1, Sienna's Melody, who is one of the likely leaders and can hang on for a place.
If we're still alive, the last leg of the quali race number 8 on Saturday night is for the stayers, and Tim, Light Fantastic put in a great run at Richmond recently.
Yeah, she's clearly the one to beat. She ran a near track record, winning by nearly 20 lengths. She's a talented greyhound. She's clearly the one to beat, but she's going to be rock bottom odds, and for that reason, I'm going to steer away from her for the on-top selection and go with number 4, Miss Nicole. She's had a 3-week freshen up, which will suit her. Her last couple of runs, she'd been missing the kick, settling back in the field. I'm hoping with a freshen up, she'll begin better and park on the pace, and at each way value I think she can run a really, really good race. Number 2, Light Fantastic, as I said, clearly the one to beat. If she does get room to move in the initial stages and gets clear galloping room, she'll probably win, but you're going to have to take very, very short odds, and you've got to throw number 1, Causing Chaos, who ran a bottler first up over the 700 metres last week. It should be on the pace from the outset and can run in the multiples.
Plenty of value on the meeting on Saturday night. How do you find your best bet, Tim?
In the third race, Ronnie, number 1, Addiction. She's beautifully drawn on the inside. She's going great guns at the moment. There's no early pace in this race. I think she'll probably settle second or third. She's very, very strong at the end. She's got a wide runner drawn on her outside. She's going to get every chance. I think she is clearly the best bet on the program. One at a bit of value, Miss Nicole in race number 8. She's up against the log-ons-on favourite Light Fantastic, but on an each-way basis, I think she can run a really, really good race at value.
All right, and there we have Tim's thoughts on Saturday night, and let's head back to the control room with Matt Jenkins to update TAB Sportsbet.
Well, racing's at Rosehill this weekend. $500,000 quaddie jackpot for New South Wales customers, and racing also at Flemington. Why don't you have a go at the Big Six? There's a $500,000 jackpot on that as well. A stack of sport as we count down to the London Games. James Magnussen, he is the shortest price individual favourite to take gold in London, $1.35 in the men's 100 metres. And Sally Pearson, a little bit of a hiccup, her first defeat this year. She's on the drift, $1.30, but she's still $1.45 to claim gold. That is in the 100 metres hurdles. On a sporting front, the Rugby League, NRL Round 20, massive game, of course. Des Hasler going back to Brookvale. Already $40,000 on the Seagulls at $1.65 when we first opened betting. The Bulldogs equal premiership favourites at $4.50. The Swans on top of the ladder in the AFL. They're $2 to win that minor premiership. And I can tell you, great support for the Pies this week to win as well. The British Open gets underway this week, and Adam Scott, the best chance for the Aussies. Tiger Woods will go into that as favourite. You can check it all out at tab.com.au. A stack of ways to have a bet, of course. Tab Mobi, if you've got an iPhone or an iPad and Android, you can do it that way as well. Of course, you can visit your local TAB or call us on 133 390.
Our friends on Facebook and Twitter sent through some questions for Timmy Newbold, and Rick O'Donnell sent through a very good one for this week's edition of Chasing the Dollar. Tim, what do you look for when you're doing your form for a quaddie?
Oh, for a quaddie, I've got to look for, obviously, you look at the form, but a bit of value as well. I normally play my quaddies. I normally play a couple of quaddies. One, a shorter quaddie with my on-top selection and maybe the other chance in the race, and then a wider quaddie with a couple of roughies here and there. You've got to play, your big chance of getting a good dividend is if you can, I've found in the past, if you can get a roughie in the first leg, because a lot of people seem to me to play quite short and then wider later on, where I really play it the other way around and go wider early and short and trim it up at the end, because I think that's where you can get the good dividends. But you've obviously got to look at form, but if you do want a roughie in there or you want a really good dividend, you've got to throw a couple of roughies in there somewhere along the lines, and some of the dividends at Wentworth Park recently, they've been really, really good. Last week's quaddie was a cracker. I know there was a jackpot component, but it paid nearly $5,000, and 3 of the 4 winners were well and truly in the market. So there's good money to be won through the quaddies.
Now, one of our other Facebook questions, of course, directed straight at Tim Newbold, being a bachelor of great notoriety around the streets of Sydney. How do you boil an egg?
How do you boil an egg? Just throw it in the saucepan. I'm not really the person to ask, Ronnie.
You probably take them poached or scrambled.
Yeah, normally I do. I can't even boil water, so you're asking the wrong person. I won't be on MasterChef next year, I can assure you of that.
All right, well, that wraps up this week's edition of Chasing the Dollar. We hope you can find a winner or two, courtesy of TAB Sportsbet. We'll see you next week.